Hello. I just want to say I think it's very brave of me to start the show with the center part, more or less. Well, that's not a center part, but whatever's happening. Welcome to the Pinfall Podcast. I am your host with the most, Liz. We are joined today with our special co-host, returning from wherever the hell she was. I know we had Seth Rollins here last week, but I guess she took a vacation, had to fill in. Pat. And so we don't get banned from Twitch, so no one has to see that too long. My lovely.
Just spit it out. Just get it over with.
Oh.
You're choking. You're choking.
The only other word I could think of was ludicrous.
Ludicrous, luscious, loony.
I don't want to call you
loony, lucky,
Love.
What?
Lovable.
Eh.
Oh, I also was gonna say lawless, but
Lawless. There we go. Law abiding.
Ooh, lawless and law abiding. So my lovely lawless and law abiding co-host, Mark.
Lawless because it's cool. Law abiding so we don't get banned.
Law abiding so nobody follows the paper trail. Well, happy Smackdown. I just want to show off my shirt because I just got it. Very excited. Very cool shirt. Very comfy shirt too, by the way. Also got this other shirt which I will show off on the podcast probably next week. Fucking hella good Bodega Cat shirt. I encourage everybody to either look at the video or it goes along with this. Or get that shirt without watching the video. Who cares? Happy Friday.
Everyone
Happy
not from New York is probably like, what the fuck is a bodega?
New Jersey might get it. Connecticut.
Meh.
Actually, the term bodega, when I was upstate, never really came up at any point. I don't think I really ever dealt with that term until moving down here. Also, I just thought it was really funny because I went to the bathroom right before this. On here, my blush looks like a little extra, but it's not too fun crazy. It's like just enough to show up on camera, really. I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, I look like Bozo the fucking clown. And that is just a testament to how much this camera washes me out. Like, I just look like, in real life, I look like a fucking fool. I just hope everyone understands.
Mm-hmm. That's because you are a fool.
Thank you for entertaining me. Mark's been up my ass all day. I hope everyone understands.
I have not.
And yet, it feels like it.
Alright, so we're getting rid of Liz today. So it's just me on the podcast. So, I don't have my notes open. So we're going to skip right over news. And we're going to jump right into... We're going to skip the matches and promos, too. Let's go right into the match of the night. We're going to skip over promo of the night, too. So just match of the night. I was skipping over wrestler of the night, too, because who cares? Let's skip over match of the night, too. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you on January 31st, because we're not doing another podcast till Royal Rumble. I think Liz wants to be back on camera. So pack it up, boys.
Hi.
Pack it up.
Mark, you could lose your fucking tongue and I'd still be podcasting until somebody tells me to stop.
I know you would.
That's just how I am as a person. Anyways, happy Smackdown Day. Jesus fucking Christ. It should not have taken me this long. This is like the goddamn promo in the beginning of Smackdown. Okay.
What?
don't know. I just want like a co-host that actually talked to me. I may as well just have the fucking cat on the other end of this fucking call. I'm just gonna go into the news.
Okay. Just treat it like how you go through the matches. Just like talk to the camera.
You're one joke away from me hanging up. One joke.
I gotta make it a good one then. Alright, keep going.
Oh, am I allowed to? Thanks.
For now.
And I wondered why it was so hard for me to not fucking get trashed on this podcast. Anyways. Okay. We got a lot of fucking news to get through, so. Let's try to make it count. So, first piece of news, Matt Hardy and his wife, whose name I'll probably say wrong, Rebby. It's like spelled kind of like Reba, but like with a Y at the end instead of
Rebuy.
I don't think his wife's name is Ribeye.
No, rebuy.
It's like when you buy something twice.
Yeah, sure. Or
Also,
say goodbye twice.
Oh, maybe. Well, I'm going to call her what I think her name is. Matt Hardy and Rebby are expecting a fourth child, and this time, it's a girl.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, God bless Rebby, because I'm sure living in a house with 4 men, or 4 boys, don't let Matt Hardy have that fucking characteristic, with 4 boys is probably fucking hell, so maybe having a daughter will... I'm kidding. Having a daughter and 3 sons is still going to make it into basically another son, so... I think there's only so much you can do in that position. I'm trying to figure out, because I want to get through like some of the less interesting stuff before getting into the more interesting stuff. Actually, I'll do. So, got some NXT news. We now officially have the full list of the entrants into the 2021 Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, which, frankly, I'm much more excited to find out who's going to be tag teaming in the Women's Classic, but maybe I'll get Jessamine and Marina.
Oh, you're not going to get that.
Dude, people online fucking hate the two of them, and I had to, like, sit there and just extricate myself, because I was like, okay. I mean, I love her, but that's fine. I mean, Jessamine, I could take her leave, but...
She annoys me on Up, Down, Down.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of like her, because her voice is just so deep that I kind of don't notice it.
I mean, I guess I just don't like all the BRE stuff.
I don't know. I get that, and I hate getting that. I kind of feel like a bad person. To
me, it all just feels like scripted, you know? Everything seems less genuine.
I haven't watched a single, like solely BRE video. I've only watched them when they were with Up, Down, Down, like playing Among Us and stuff like that, which I always think is funny.
Right.
Because their interactions with the other guys is interesting and fun to watch. I have not watched anything that is solely them, though, because I just don't have the interest.
I do just love how Shayna stays almost silent the whole time.
The way Shayna dresses versus how she looks when she's going into the ring, and obviously Shayna looks half like a raccoon going into the ring. So, but the way that she dresses in real life, I always... Every time I see her in like one of those videos, I'm just like, who the fuck is that? That can't be Shayna. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like Jessamine. I like how fucking heavy her southern accent is. But all the same. So your entrants are as follows. We've got August Gray and Kurt Stallion. I'm very fucking excited for that tag team. We have the Bollywood Boys, aka the Singh Brothers. We have Breezango. Obviously, we've got Drake Maverick and Killian Dane. We have Everrise. Thank God. We have the Girls of the Young Veterans. We have Imperium. We somehow have Jake Atlas and Isaiah Swerve Scott.
They hated each other.
Even in like the interview that they did where they announced that they were entering together, it was like they just looked like they wanted to fucking kill each other anyway. So, but anyways, we have Kushida and Leon Ruff. We have Legado del Fantasma, aka Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza. We have Undisputed Era, aka Adam Cole and Roderick Strong, and then we have Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory.
The most curious tag team is Atlas and Swerve.
Yeah, that's just weird. It looks like they're just setting them up for like a betrayal kind of deal.
I don't know. Maybe it's.
But
they're definitely just there.
It's gonna be like a Nia and Shayna deal.
They're definitely just there for filler. I mean.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I don't know. I'm excited for August Green, Kurt Stallion. I think that'll be an interesting match.
I've seen some of
their
their
very least.
I've seen some of their matches on 205 Live. They're okay.
I don't know. I'm gonna hold out hope. I don't watch 205 Live enough to let that dodge my feelings. But I will be mad though if they go up against the Bollywood Boys, because then it's just like, well, you've just put 205 Live on for me.
I mean, that match is literally happening probably right now. It's happening on 205 Live tonight.
Oh, are they not doing all the matches on NXT?
Well, no, I'm talking about just that matchup, not for the Dusty Rhodes tournament, is happening tonight.
I understand what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Just because.
Mm-hmm.
Understood. So that'll be interesting. We also have. So Rhea Ripley is apparently getting called up soon, which doesn't matter because she liked our fucking tweet last Wednesday, and I said, I've been riding that high for a solid 2 days now. I'm gonna take the screenshot and like frame it.
Yeah. It was great. It was wonderful.
For a minute, that bitch was the only like on the tweet, and I said that's all I need, actually. So thank you. I am so in love. Anywho, and also, second time that a person that we've given match or fighter of the night to that liked the tweet, and luckily this time we didn't spend the entire episode talking shit about them.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
I still take it back, Metal League. I still take it back.
I don't.
Well, okay. In retrospect, I take it back. In the moment, I totally was justified.
Yeah, I mean, he had a bad night. Bad few nights.
Was not a good time for him. Yeah. But so Rhea Ripley's probably getting called up soon, which is whatever. Maybe it'll make the women's scene better. Hopefully she'll go into Raw and take on Charlotte Flair again.
I think she'll be brought on SmackDown.
I'd rather die. Anyways.
Wait, what if she's brought as a third onto Riot Squad?
I don't really want her on a team. I want her to be her own bitch. Like an actual lone wolf, not like the Corbin type of lone wolf. But so Ray's getting called up soon, and Damian, obviously, as we talked about, was supposed to be called up, but the purpose for his call up was nixed because Roman and Kevin Owens said no to adding him into the segment that he was meant to be brought up in, which is fair because he was supposed to be brought up in during the Kevin Owens Jay fight
and side with Kevin.
Yeah, and it just wouldn't have made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But Sean Ross Sapp did say that we are missing out on some really good fucking promos involving Kevin Owens and Damian just trying to become friends.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Seth could bring him, like, if Seth comes back as the Messiah, he would probably just bring in Damian as his follower. That's really the only way.
Fair.
That's really the only way I can see Damian coming back or coming to main roster.
That's fair. Okay. I'm just trying to keep track of what, like, my laptop is further back than it normally is, so I'm like, whatever. So in speaking of NXT, actually, Vince McMahon has apparently stepped back on his desire to keep talent separate. So that was why we stopped having Raw Underground, thank God. And recently, because of like seeing Lucha House Party on okay, so my confusion here, by the way, is the article mentioned seeing Lucha House Party on NXT obviously was an example of that divide kind of being softened.
Mm-hmm.
But then they said, and also Lucha House Party showing up on Raw, which I thought they were on Raw.
No, because Kalisto's on Raw. Lucha House Party is SmackDown.
No, Kalisto's not on Raw, remember? Because Kevin Owens had that promo where he complimented Kalisto's hat as he walked out the door, and we all thought it was very strange.
Wasn't that before the draft?
No, that was like a month ago, maybe.
I don't know, because I know Lucha House Party's on SmackDown because they fought Cesaro and Shinsuke.
Oh, yeah.
And Kalisto's been doing the 24/7 title stuff.
How come Middle League had been doing that?
No. They were doing it before the draft. Well, no, they have been doing it too. I don't know. It's confusing. I could just honestly look this up right now.
Know.
I'm just gonna look it up.
Honestly, the draft is like for me personally, it's like a massive Mandela effect because I'm just like, no, they were on this. They are on this brand right now.
Grand Metalik is Raw, or Lucha House Party is Raw.
Okay, so Wrestle Talk was just off their ass.
I guess so.
Or whoever made that. Whoever, if there was a quote. Anyways, but that makes the possibility of getting NXT stars in the Royal Rumble a bigger potential, and I'm actually really fucking excited about that.
Yeah, Rhea Ripley's a big favorite to win the women's women's Rumble. Her or Sonya, maybe not Sonya now that what happened in this SmackDown episode. I think Charlotte or Carmella might also be two others.
That makes sense. To be fair, if Rhea shows up or decides to announce that she's an entrant, I'm gonna lose it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have like my mind's going to melt out of my ears.
I know.
In a very attractive way. So let's take a quick break from the interesting news and talk about the fact that Tatanka, as we saw on last Monday's Raw, has had an interview with Boston Wrestling MWF's Dan Murade, and said that he beat Goldberg's winning streak in WCW with a nearly 1,000-0 winning streak. The quote is, "We literally wrestled about 500 times a year, not including if you were being used on TV by Vince McMahon. You would wrestle at least twice per day. Everyone talks about Tatanka, the undefeated streak, the 2-year undefeated streak. Goldberg 173-0. When we finally figure it out and we start talking to everybody, actually I'd probably be close to 1,000-0 because I went 2 years undefeated."
Okay.
What? I just wanted to include that tonight. I thought that was a very fun little bit. You could laugh.
I'm just tired of Goldberg. Anything that has to do with Goldberg.
That was Tatanka.
I know, but it mentioned Goldberg.
That was Tatanka saying that he was tired of Goldberg.
I'm tired of Goldberg.
Well, they're going to hate the next piece of news.
Oh, is it about Gilberg? I miss Gilberg.
No. Well, maybe we can bring him back too, okay?
He challenges Roman.
So, stop. So, as everybody probably assumed, the Goldberg promo was fucking massively botched. As you could tell from our 20-minute, 30-minute long rant about how much we fucking hated that promo, because it didn't make sense for Goldberg to say all this shit to Drew McIntyre. Apparently, first of all, as WrestleTalk reported, the writers didn't know that they were fucking doing this until Sunday. And then Monday came and they were like, well, fuck. Gotta fit that in somewhere. And basically, Randy and Jeff Hardy were supposed to be the main event. Instead, they made it McIntyre and Keith Lee. Drew was supposed to take the microphone after their finish and say some shit that would have, I guess, somehow justified what Goldberg said, which still doesn't make sense because that doesn't seem in character for Drew to say anything that disrespectful.
Yeah.
But anyways, and so Drew was supposed to say something, justify Goldberg's point. Goldberg's supposed to come out, give his whole fucking speech. And then the promo was actually supposed to end with after Goldberg pushed Drew, Drew got up, gave the receipt in the form of a Glasgow kiss, and then stood over Goldberg looking stronger than him. Instead, we ended with Drew McIntyre mid-fall from being shoved like a child on the playground.
I mean, it helps put Drew as an underdog position.
True. I don't know if this is going to, because like they did show in the commercial for this coming Monday Night Raw, they showed what we probably were supposed to have seen, which is Drew headbutting Goldberg. But I don't know. It's like, it's shit like this where it's like, that could have fucked up plans for weeks down the road. Jeez. Anyways. And finally, I believe this is my last piece of news. WWE is apparently, and this is interesting coming off the fact that AEW and NJPW were kind of linked as like becoming sister brands.
Mm-hmm.
AEW is apparently linked to a massive fucking push to get Jay White from New Japan Pro Wrestling to join WWE. He lost at Wrestle Kingdom 15 and apparently had a breakdown and said that he was done with the company. And so now, yeah, a lot of people think this is kayfabe, but it seems like he's actually leaving the company. And he's a hot fucking commodity because he's a massively fucking good wrestler. And apparently the biggest name coming out of this was WWE. So it looks like they're trying to sign him. I fucking like that.
Yeah.
Fucking like that a lot.
And JPW's got, they have consistently great talent, so.
I mean, we've talked about this with NXT.
AJ.
Especially, I think. Oh, and AJ. A lot of our favorite wrestlers come from NJPW. And Sean Ross Sapp said, like, if they want to do this right, which it's WWE, so they probably won't, but if they want to do this right, they'll have Jay White come in as, like, a massive fucking heel, like, top of the card heel. I would fucking love to see that. I feel like that is exactly what they need. I think they need a fresh face to play a big name.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's Elizabeth.
That'd be nice. Be nice to see some fresh talent.
Especially if it's like fresh talent that like, you're laying on the signs, don't get mad at me. But yeah, especially like fresh faces that aren't just from NXT, which I don't mind seeing fresh faces from NXT, but like, because I think something that Daniel Bryan said is that like they really need to start calling up people from NXT and like utilizing them.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, two in 3 in 1 year, I guess, if we're counting Chelsea Green. Doesn't really leave a good track record, per se.
While you change the signs, do you want to hear a joke?
Okay.
A priest, a rabbit, and a minister walk into a bar. The bartender asks the rabbit, "What'll you have?" The rabbit says, "I don't know. I'm only here because of autocorrect." Got him. Yeah, I could just put
the
you.
Podcast is canceled, everyone.
I'll just put you up.
I appreciated that joke, Marcus. I thought that was a very good joke.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Would you like to begin with the longest promo in the history of promos? Like, longer than a Drew McIntyre promo?
A 20-minute long promo, yeah. So, I only have one note for this, actually. 2 notes, rather. So, because it's, so Roman Reigns...
I have 3, so I can't say much more.
Okay. Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, and Jay get in the ring. And, true to nature, Roman's mad about the matchup made last week. And so he calls out Adam Pearce. And he's like, "Adam, my boy, come out here." And they're talking to the officials. And or Paul's yelling at the officials. And Corey and Michael. And they're like, "There's nothing we can fucking do." And then Adam Pearce walks out. And he's like, What? Roman's like, "I want to fight you." And he's like, "You're going in the gauntlet later." And he's like, "No, I can't. I'm an official. I haven't wrestled in 6 years." And he's like, "Okay, I don't care." And then the promo ends. We got 20 minutes of that.
Can I say something that I just remembered?
Mm-hmm.
So, as we all know, and as I just said recently, Drew McIntyre is the king of the extended promo that doesn't need to be as long as it is. And I always equated that to the fact that he's a Gemini.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remembered something. Which is Roman Reigns is also a Gemini. Which kind of reflects poorly on us.
Yeah. At least it means you're winners.
True shit.
Except
winners,
for Bray Wyatt.
And
Daniel Bryan. And Seth.
So we're either winners or just massive losers.
Yeah.
We can talk a lot.
Isn't Drake Maverick one too?
I'm sure Drake Maverick.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You thought Drake worked?
Yep.
Yeah. He probably is. All the horrible people are.
Drake Maverick is January 30th, so he is not. He is a...
His birthday's coming up.
Right? Oh, no. Drake Wirtz is a fucking Virgo.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not all great.
Listen, you gotta have your shadow guards.
But after this, we had Biggie versus Apollo Cruz for the Intercontinental Championship. And Liz, why don't you fucking just walk us through this?
I just think that, I think the cat just farted, which is fantastic. But I think that Botchamania is going to have a great time in, a week.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're just going to have to replay the Smackdown episode. Because what the fuck happened tonight? Oh my god.
Tonight was bad.
Tonight was bad. Tonight was Return of SmackDown Live bad.
Well, it wasn't even a bad episode. It's just a lot of botches happened.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The episode was kind of neither here nor there on my schedule. On my meter of shitty episodes of SmackDown.
Also, I just want you to know my dad is watching right now because he just sent me a text about the joke I made, and he said, "Nice joke." Hi, Dad.
Oh no. Okay.
Anyways,
so yeah, this match was a brutality. We going into this, I was like, okay, cool. Apollo looks really good,
mm-hmm.
and I know he's not going to win. So that's nice because we might be getting him back in like, the swing of things, and the balance doesn't have to be upset in any way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, was I wrong. So we get a drop kick and a big boot to the face of Big E. Apollo goes off the ropes in a moonsault, ideally landing on Big E, but Big E dodges. Apollo lands on his feet. Big E takes Apollo down with a shoulder tackle. We get a big splash on the apron to Apollo. Still don't know how that doesn't break somebody's neck. There's a kick to the midsection of Big E and some forearms that he doesn't really sell at all. Apollo gets like 2 or 3 German suplexes on Big E, which when you look at Apollo Cruz and you look at Big E, you don't really know that that's actually a possibility.
One syllable at a time.
Stuttered. Don't be mean. Apollo goes onto the apron and Big E goes to grab him, but Apollo kicks him backwards and then moonsaults down onto him. E was down in the ringside area at this point. But moonsaults down onto him, landing a knee right on Big E's shoulder. One of the better like flips off of the apron or off the ropes that we've gotten in a while that actually like got some meat.
Yeah.
We then get Big E up onto the top buckle, and Apollo looks like he's going for the superplex. And he gets it. And then there's like some weird like dead turtle thing where like both of their legs are up in the air, like as the cover's happening, and the bell rings, and Apollo thinks he's won, and Big E doesn't look like he knows what's happened, and Greg Michaels, is that his name?
Greg Hamilton?
Greg Hamilton. Why is it Michaels?
I don't know.
Anyways, Greg Hamilton then also doesn't say anything. And
we go to Michael commercial.
Right before that, though, Michael Cole was like, Apollo seems to think he's won the title. And Corey's like, no, I think he did. And then we cut to commercial because nobody knows what's happening.
Biggie's like arguing with the ref, too, because he's like, because he also thinks Apollo won. Or he thinks Apollo didn't win, but he thinks that they're declaring Apollo won.
Because, and the thing, too, is that it's like, it didn't look immediately, like, normally when somebody loses their title, they're just like that, or like upset. Big E kind of just got up like...
Yeah, he looked like he was ready to wrestle more.
Yeah. So we cut to commercial. WWE has already tweeted that Apollo seems to have won. When we get back, the referee says, okay, it was a double pinfall, so it's a draw, so Big E keeps his title. And I said, no offense, I don't think that this was supposed to happen. And Apollo says, well, gotta take one for the team here, and slaps Big E after they're arguing, because Apollo's like, you don't want to...
Sorry, I was going to explain, but I didn't realize you were going to explain it too.
Yeah. Apollo basically is like doing something similar to what MVP was doing when New Day walked away thinking that they had won on a double countout. Where he was like, that's not how you want to win the title back. That's not how you want to retain it. Like, you don't, like, I won. You don't deserve that chance. And Big E's like, well, you took the opportunity to fight me, and this is how it ended. And that's what the referee says. And what the referee says is, gospel. So Apollo slaps Big E, eliciting a very loud noise from Elizabeth. So it was like, they're friends. So Big E says, okay, ring that bell. Ding, ding, ding. And we have the second half of the match.
Is it the second half or the second match? I counted it as the second match.
I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I don't know. I want to have like a clear answer for you here.
I think it's the second match because the bell rung twice each time.
I guess that's fair. All right, for the sake of your power rankings, I will let you have that.
All right.
I mean, you can compare your number to Wrestle Talks since they're also doing the same thing as you.
Mine are better though.
No, absolutely. I mean, yours are using the Mike Romy's mark.
Yeah. And mine also have a point value attached to everything.
There's not.
I think theirs are more subjective.
I see. Okay. I'd be interested to compare. Especially in this early stage of the year. Anywho. Oh. Deary. There we go. Big E makes Apollo regret accepting this rematch. With 3 belly-to-bellies. We then get the big splash and a failed big ending. Big E runs at Apollo on the apron and gets a knee to the face. We then get a frog splash off the top rope to Big E, and for a whole second, it looks like Apollo's actually supposed to win the title. Which I said, wow, they're really giving Apollo a push, aren't they? But, because also, I made a joke to you in the first part of the match where I was like, oh man, like, it'd suck if they, like, gave Big E, like, this, like, big title push and then immediately took it away.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking when Apollo won in the first one. Just that they really hate Big E.
And also, like, they took everything from him.
Yeah.
For this.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is... But anyways, we then have Apollo lifting Big E, which is just kind of impressive. When that fails, he goes for a backslide, but Big E's much heavier, so he's like, no, I'm not moving. We then get a kick to the midsection, and then the jaw of Big E right into a spine buster and a standing moonsault. Apollo covers, and Big E, who is just looking not very happy right now, gives the most pitiful kick out that basically kind of like looked like a genuine response to like, just get off of me.
He just lifted his ass a little bit and shoved Apollo's head, because I'm sure he was super just not having it today.
Well, I mean, I don't blame him, because like, also you have to understand, like, you have to be pissed off after that, right? Like,
yeah,
you almost just lost your title that you lost your tag team for,
right?
Like, Big E then rolls Apollo up. He goes for the stretch muffler submission. It doesn't work. There's a step up enziguri to Big E, getting him down to a knee. Apollo goes for the spin out powerbomb. Big E counters. We then get a Uranagi and a big ending, so Big E actually retains. Thank God. And then Big E stands over Apollo and just says, don't play with me. I said, that's fair, Big E. Go home, take a nap, bud. You have like a little hot cocoa or something. Make you feel happy.
I mean, good on Apollo for going through that, like, because he was selling the genuine excitement and the slap and all that.
Well, Apollo's really got like Montez Ford levels of excitement.
Yeah.
He's got that energy.
Mm-hmm. But after that title defense, I guess you can call it, we had a little promo with Sonya and Adam Pearce where it's kind of revealed that she's going to be kind of an assistant general manager. She's like learning under Adam Pearce and taking a more business role in the WWE as opposed to a wrestling role. But I'm sure like when Corbin was GM, she'll still wrestle like he did.
I'm just wondering if maybe this is just like her way of being back and also making money.
Right.
While still not wrestling, because like that was the whole reason she was gone, was because I think her defense team, right? Is she the defendant or the plaintiff?
She's the prosecutor. Because she's trying to prosecute.
She's on the prosecution.
Yeah, she's trying to prosecute the.
Yeah, she's on the prosecution.
Yeah.
But there's the defendant and the plaintiff, so I don't know which one's on the prosecution side. I think it's the plaintiff.
I think the plaintiff is the lawyer.
No, that's like the person.
That's the person.
Like the person involved. I mean, God bless.
Plaintiff is a person who brings a case against another in a court of law. So, okay, yeah, the plaintiff is the prosecution. You're right.
Okay, thank you. So I think her legal team, at the end of the day, I think they were like, hey, like, wrestling might not be like the best look going into this, like being a wrestler for whatever reason.
I think it more so
not
has
that
to.
It would have been a.
I think it more so has.
I'm saying this. I'm saying this as somebody who read all the articles. I think her legal team said having you wrestle won't be a good look going into court.
Mm-hmm.
Just because that gives people an image of you that normal people who aren't on TV, like, it's important that, like, if you have a lawsuit that you're trying to, like, take out on somebody, it's important that you don't get arrested for something, like, some minor thing, like, I don't know, like getting into a fight somewhere or something like that. It's important because, like, then it makes it a lot harder for your legal team to be like, he's a good guy, we swear.
You sure it's not just because they don't want her to come in with like bruises and like hurt limbs? I feel like that's the look they're talking about.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's rare that somebody gets bruised on their face, and 9 times out of 10, I'm going to assume that Sonya is not wearing much different from what she was wearing today, which is a suit, because that's nicer clothes, and you dress up for court. I guess I don't know about Zoom court, but whatever. But all I know is that when I read the articles, the consensus was that she stopped wrestling because it was deemed kind of like a potentially bad look, especially because she plays a heel.
Oh, right.
And you don't want the jury to get to know more about you outside of what's readily available. So that being said, I think that this is her easy way of still being on TV, but at least having like a reserved demeanor for the meantime.
Right.
Especially because she was like, I'm ready to like take a step forward and forget the whole Mandy situation, all that shit. Also, I'm in love with her. If she wants to marry me, there's not a ring on this finger, baby.
All right, so but anyway, back to the promo as we were trying to get through. Sonya's kind of studying under Adam Pearce right now, I guess, to be GM or assistant GM, something along those lines. Very much, it looks like she's taking a different role in WWE than how she was before, at least for now. But that's really the end of it. She seems very excited about it, kind of mentioned Mandy and that whole feud, and just said that she was justified, but she's kind of over it right now. Except the way she mentioned it very much seemed like she's not entirely over it. And then we had an interview with Bianca Belair, basically announcing her entry into the Royal Rumble, which I think she might be another favorite to win the Rumble. But then Bayley enters, and it's just like a whole, oh, you're not gonna win the Rumble. I know, I see it. I see that, Paula.
No business deals today.
But yeah, she's like, you're not gonna win the Rumble. Like, I wasn't at the Rumble last time because I was defending my record-long reign as the SmackDown Women's Champion. And then Bianca's like, okay, that's great, you're not champion anymore. And then that's really where that feud ends. And then we have a promo with Carmella after Sasha, after they show a graphic of Sasha, who has been given the number one wrestler by Sports Illustrated, and Carmella's mad about it and just rambling on because she's annoying. And then we have Street Profits versus the Dirty Dogs.
God bless.
For the SmackDown Tag Team Championship.
You know what I miss?
What? Seth?
Robert Roode's entrance song.
Yeah.
Well, both. At the end of the day.
They might save, because they're now like an official on paper tag team, they might save his for like pay-per-views, or now that they're the champions, they'll save it for these matches that they have as champions, because that's a very special song.
True. I think maybe, I'm sure that Roode will do some singles stuff sooner or later, so whatever. So we start with Dawkins and Dolph in first. We get a shoulder tackle to Dolph, and then a drop kick that basically takes Dolph Ziggler's head off. Montez gets in. There's a double shoulder tackle to Dolph, and then Dawkins assists Montez with a moonsault onto Mr. Ziggler. Robert Roode gets in. He begins stomping upon Montez in the corner, and then he slams Montez's head into the top buckle. But that just kind of pumps Montez up, who just begins wailing on Robert Roode. Roode finally gets free from this onslaught of fists and knees, and then stomps upon Ford's knee. Montez then lifts Roode over to the apron. He sends him ringside, does the same thing to Dolph, and then cannonballs out onto them. Now, Mr. Montez Ford's knee is just so messed up that he's basically too injured to continue. When we get back from commercial break, Dawkins is suplexing Mr. Roode all around the ring. There's a bulldog to Roode. Roode then takes advantage of Doc's not knowing whether he should tag Montez in, because Montez basically climbs back up to the apron. He was standing by the steps for a while. He climbs up to the apron, and Docs is like, could tag you in, but also it looks like your leg might fall off, so... Dolph gets in. There's some drop kicks. There is a drop kick to Dawkins. Dolph distracts Jessica Carr while Robert Roode punches Dawkins in the face from the apron. Ziggler gets an armbar on Dawkins and gets Robert Roode in, who has a nice little stomp on Dawkins' chest before Ziggler gets back out. There's a neckbreaker to Dawkins, and then Roode whips Dawkins into the buckles, gets Ziggler back in. Dawkins dodges Dolph, sending him essentially crotch first into the buckle. Roode is then sent through the second rope. Dawkins is trying to tag Montez in, but Roode pulls him from the apron. Finally, Montez, who socks Roode in the ringside area, gets back up with his one functioning leg, tags in, and just begins punching and kicking with the only good knee he has. Begins just raining pain down upon Mr. Ziggler with clubbing blow after clubbing blow. Roode runs in to interfere just in time to be victim of a back body drop from Montez. We get a spinning clothesline to Dolph Ziggler, and Ford goes up to the top rope, and Roode tries to pull him down unsuccessfully. And then Dolph Ziggler pulls him down face first into the canvas. And Montez still manages to kick out, so good for him. There's a super kick to Ziggler. Roode breaks the cover at the last possible moment, and Dawkins immediately takes to kicking Mr. Roode out of the ring. Ziggler manages to... I jumped ahead of my notes. My bad. No, I didn't. Dawkins is then taken out of position to tag, even though Montez looks like he is just broken in half. Dawkins Dawkins is sent from, I believe, the apron by Dolph Ziggler face first into the barricade. Then there's a final chop block to Taz. Roode is legal. You get a fisherman's suplex to Montez, and then he goes for the glorious DDT. Montez counters with just a very strange step up enziguri kind of to Mr. Roode. And then Dolph gets back in. There's a spine buster from Roode into the zigzag for the Dirty Dogs to win, and I hate saying their names so much. And now they're your tag team champions.
So this match reminded me of something I'm kind of annoyed with on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And that's the fact that the only scenes and storylines you have are title scenes. You've got nothing else. You've only got, like, the only thing that didn't have to do with the title or the chance at a title today is the Billy Kay Riot Squad promo. That's it. Everything has to do with the title. And that's kind of annoying. You know?
I also noticed that there were no women's fights tonight.
Yeah. I mean, they needed to save all the time, all the 45 minutes for the Gauntlet match.
Yeah, I guess. I get that, but also sad.
I mean, we had 2 title matches and a gauntlet for a match for the Universal Championship. So, like, I get it.
Yeah. However.
But now we move on to a promo with Adam Pearce and Paul Heyman, where Paul said he pulled some strings and got Pearce into the Gauntlet match. And yeah.
Why are you coughing so much?
I've got like this weird tickle in my throat.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't feel anything else besides the little tickle. It just won't go away.
Okay.
I can still smell things. But then we move on to the Riot Squad promo with Billy Kay, where the Riot Squad say they don't want Billy as like their coach or whatever. That makes Billy cry, and then Riot Squad feel bad, so they take her with them. So yeah, that's it.
Kind of only.
Yeah. And then we have the Gauntlet match between Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn, King Corbin, Adam Pearce, and Shinsuke Nakamura and Daniel Bryan.
Stop me at any point if you have any fun things to say, because I have a lot of notes.
Okay.
Right, so we start with Rey and Sami, and then there's a 619, a frog splash, and Sami is defeated. So there you go. It's one guy down.
Also, can we
go on?
Can we just mention that Sami first came in with the camera crew following him, saying he's going to catch any debauchery that happens?
Yes, my good boy. And it sucks because it's like I think that they're doing Sami's character right, but they need to make him worth something because like he's not a bad wrestler.
Yeah.
You know? It's like he's getting basically the same treatment as what's his fucking name? Little dude. Vince's
Leon.
son.
Oh, Hornswoggle?
Yeah, he's basically getting that treatment at this point. He's just kind of a
I don't think
funny
quite.
little thing. Sideshow.
I think he's getting the Drake Maverick treatment.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. But it sucks because it's like Sami's a good wrestler and he's fun to watch, as we saw with the Daniel Bryan match.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was a bananas match.
Yeah.
Anyways, Shinsuke's the next man out. There's a shoulder tackle to Rey and a kick to the side of Shinsuke's head. Just a piss poor head scissors to Shinsuke from Mr. Mysterio. Just like Grand Metal League, when we were making fun of him, level head scissors. And it wouldn't be so frustrating if it weren't for the fact that this has been the Rey Mysterio that we have seen for the last couple of months.
Right.
Not a good one. But anyways, I guess you don't have time to practice your head scissors when Louis Vuitton is forcing you to try on all of their clothes and asks.
And you're 45 years old.
Well, if you're 45 years old and you can't do the wrestling that you're signed up to do, then maybe you shouldn't be doing the wrestling. That's just me. Sorry. Didn't think the day would come where I was talking shit about Rey Mysterio. So, my apologies.
Yeah.
Not really. I don't feel bad. I'm about to knock this down again. Sorry. Anyways, we then have Rey Mysterio in a baseball slide through the ropes because the head scissors, as I guess we'll generously call them, sent Shinsuke ringside. Rey then baseball slides towards Shinsuke, but Shinsuke catches him. We then have poor Rey Mysterio draped over the apron while Shinsuke sends a knee to his face. Rey goes for the sunset flip bomb to Shinsuke ringside, but Nakamura rolls through and then finishes with a nasty knee to the face. And then we get what I would actually genuinely call... Maybe genuinely. I don't want to use that word either. But we were making fun of the term, the single leg drop kick, the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the announcers said that, and I said, that's not a thing. I would say that we actually may have seen a single leg drop kick because Shinsuke went for a drop kick and only made contact with one foot.
I feel like the closest thing to that's like the Shiniest Wizard, but that's like very low to the ground. That's almost a baseball slide.
Well, the Shiniest Wizard is a knee.
It's like
it's a knee strike.
It's a straight out, like your leg's straight out for it.
Sure. I mean, a single leg drop kick is basically like a super kick.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, let's not get into the semantics of that. We then have Shinsuke landing two knees on Rey's face. Shinsuke gets Rey sitting on the top buckle, and then Mysterio headbutts Nakamura, goes off that top rope, and sort of sentons Shinsuke. And by sentons, I mean lands with like his legs almost going over Shinsuke's shoulders. Like a reverse spirit bomb almost. Because he basically landed like crotch in the face of Shinsuke, legs over the shoulders, to bring him down with the force of his pelvic region.
Oh yeah, he always does that.
I don't get that move.
I don't know the name of it, but it's a move he like does really often. It's one of his signatures.
I know it's one of his signatures. It's one of those things where I never really had to describe it before.
I mean, imagine
talking about him. I don't know why.
Imagine a whole body was coming at you, at your face, crotch first. You would go down.
I don't doubt that would take me out. I'm just saying, it's just kind of strange because it's almost a senton. It's almost a drop kick, but it's all weird. Anyways, though. He does it again, but this time just kind of like bouncing off the ropes. Shinsuke then sends Rey to the apron, kicks him in the face. Rey avoids being slammed into the post. He headbutts Shinsuke, and then there's a 619 through the ropes. And even more botched head scissors to Mr. Shinsuke. And like, it was botched enough where I'm like sitting there and I'm like, your legs barely made contact with the man. How is he falling over? Anyways, Shinsuke really, Shinsuke did a lot tonight compared to all of the botches he had to cope with.
Mm-hmm.
So kudos to that man.
Yeah.
I'm glad that he also got to look really good tonight because when we first started watching together, Shinsuke looked like a royal nightmare. He was one of our least favorite people. And now I would die for the man. Shinsuke looks for a spinebuster and Ray counters with a just more messed up stuff. However, Ray goes off the top rope, the frog splash, I guess. Shinsuke gets his knees up. That immediately turns into an armbar, and Rey Mysterio taps out. Then Corbin comes out and attacks Dominic, which I get. Like, they had kind of some beef earlier on a couple months ago. But still. And then attacks Rey.
I wouldn't say a couple months ago. More so December.
No, because it was after Survivor Series. Wasn't it? No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. Survivor Series was late November.
Time is flying incredibly fast and incredibly slow all at once. So, anyways. It's sort of like when it's snowing and you're driving in your car and suddenly it starts like looking kind of like if you pay attention to the snow, like the way it's going off your windshield, it sort of looks like you're driving upwards.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of how I feel. I don't know if that makes sense. It probably doesn't. Anyways. So, yeah, Corbin comes out, attacks Dominic for no reason, then chokeslams Rey into the buckles, which is, I don't know, man. It's just, he's not your opponent. So why would you waste your energy?
Because he hates him.
That's fair. I do appreciate that Corbin is purely run on hatred and passion.
Mm-hmm.
So, good for him. We go to commercial. Corbin is beating Shinsuke up. There's some elbows into the shoulder, a clothesline to Shinsuke. Corbin punches Shinsuke in the midsection in the corner, and Shinsuke finally dodges Corbin, sending him into the post with just absolutely full contact, shoulder blade into that post all the way. Or whatever this is. This bone. This isn't your shoulder blade.
Your shoulder?
Yeah, but there's a bone. It's a bone.
It's your shoulder.
It's just... No, because this is the shoulder. Oh, maybe, is this part of the clavicle? Yeah, the clavicle. What goes out to your shoulder?
Yeah, that's your clavicle.
Okay. Don't you love when Mark and I learn anatomy?
Your clavicle is your collarbone.
Right, but like the collarbone kind of goes like...
Yeah.
Like it's open where your neck hole is and then it kind of pinches out.
Right.
Like a pulled piece of taffy.
Mm-hmm.
I know some stuff. Oh, is like the actual bone of the shoulder the scapula? Is that what that is?
No, the scapula. There's a picture. The scapula is your shoulder blade.
Oh, so like this down here is the scapula?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, whatever. Anyways. So we now have me trying to find where I left off in my notes. I was trying to see how long these notes were, and then I lost my place.
Slammed into the turnbuckle. Shoulder first.
Right on. There we go. So Shinsuke is caught going off the apron by Mr. Corbin. Corbin then slams Shinsuke into the post. We get a belly-to-back suplex to Shinsuke. And then a drop kick to the mouth of Corbin and some knee strikes to the midsection of Corbin. Corbin catches one leg of Shinsuke as he kind of looks like he's going for the Kinshasa. So Shinsuke decides to lift his other leg up and kick Corbin upside the head. Because Shinsuke is a freak of nature. And I'll stand by that decision. 100%.
Yeah, that's right.
As Corey said, he has very rangy legs.
It's true.
Which I don't know. Corey's just a wizard with words, honestly. So, yeah. Shinsuke kicks Corbin upside the head again after dodging him, sending him into the post a second time. There's a drop kick to Corbin off the ropes and another failed Kinshasa, but a successful deep six, which is, the least we're gonna fucking get tonight.
Yeah.
Shinsuke goes for me not breaking this more than I've already broken it. Shinsuke goes for a triangle submission hold on Corbin, but Corbin just kind of curls him because Corbin is also a freak of nature, and then plants him into the ground. Shinsuke manages to get Corbin out to ringside, but Corbin's super fast and gets back in right into a Kinshasa that defeats him. Fast Corps went a little too fast tonight. They don't waste any time lamenting over Corbin's loss. Daniel Bryan comes out. There's a dropkick to Shinsuke from Daniel Bryan that looks like it just hurts a ton. Daniel Bryan then sends Shinsuke through the second rope and dives out onto him, sending him into the announce desk. Daniel Bryan goes off the top rope with a right knee. God bless. Daniel Bryan goes off the top rope right into a knee from Shinsuke. Shinsuke goes for the Kinshasa, but is countered into a single leg crab on Mr. Shinsuke. And this is about the time where Daniel Bryan shows us why he is a master of submission. Shinsuke kind of wriggles free, almost. Daniel Bryan manages to turn that into an ankle lock, and then when he realizes it's just not working, we get a German suplex with a bridge on Shinsuke, landing him high up on the neck. But that's only how it looks, because he actually landed kind of on the shoulders. Mm-hmm. And I was like, there's my safe boy, Mr. Daniel Bryan. Look at him. Daniel goes in with the yes kicks. Shinsuke goes for another armbar from a takedown. But once again, as beautiful as that move was, Daniel Bryan immediately frees himself, goes for his own armbar, can't get it locked in, so he goes into the yes lock, and then transitions again, grabbing Shinsuke's arm. Unfortunately, he's not able to grab the leg of Shinsuke in time. Shinsuke gets to the rope. So Daniel Bryan just decides to shove Shinsuke into a corner and begin hyperextending his elbow. Mr. Bryan goes up to the top rope. Shinsuke is up there with him. Daniel Bryan goes for what would probably have been a very cool Hurricane Rana. But something happened. Somebody must have put, vegetable oil on Daniel Bryan's shin guards, because Daniel Bryan just slips right out. Just slips right off of Shinsuke when he's going for that move. So Shinsuke just kind of rolls with the punches and goes down with a knee onto Mr. Bryan instead.
I like to think that Roman Reigns, or actually Jey Uso, greased up all the boots of every superstar in SmackDown besides Shinsuke's, because he wanted him to be the last one.
He's like, Shinsuke needs a little bit of a push, but not that big of a push. That's for Scrap Daddy and Scrap Daddy alone.
Yeah.
I did feel like there was so it's not something I feel very often for a lot of wrestlers, because normally when shit's botched, I'm just like, come on. But that was so botched. I felt like an internal cringe.
Mm-hmm.
Early, first season of The Office cringe. Where I was just like, oh, dude, I'm embarrassed for you. Anyways, Shinsuke, I can't believe he dealt with that so easily, honestly. Because you could tell there was just some gears moving in his head after that happened, because Shinsuke kind of rose up on the ropes
yeah.
You could see the confusion in that man's eyes, and I said, I understand, buddy. You've coped with a lot tonight, so thanks.
And even Cole and Graves were confused, because Cole was like, I think Shinsuke must have blocked, or Daniel Bryan slipped.
It was, again, I have so much fucking respect for Shinsuke, just knowing how to deal with every botch that hit him tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Because tonight was a messy one for him, and not because of him.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, Shinsuke then sends some knees into Daniel Bryan's side. He misses with the Kinshasa once again, as Daniel Bryan avoids it. Nakamura goes for the armbar again, but Bryan pushes him back onto his shoulders, starting the count and breaking the hold. Daniel Bryan then begins unloading. He kicks Shinsuke upside the head and then cannonballs down onto Shinsuke. But somehow, I don't know the transition in these notes, so I apologize. There's just a comma for me. Nakamura knees Daniel Bryan down to the canvas. Nakamura wins, but it's actually quite sweet because after Nakamura wins, he and Daniel Bryan shake hands, and it almost looks like they're about to hug, and I was like, please? Please? And then Roman Reigns comes out, which is kind of funny because, Roman, we're doing this for you, so you don't need to be here. But okay. And then Jay attacks Shinsuke, which is legal because the bell hasn't rung yet. Which technically, if it's not in the context of a match, technically it's not legal. That's assault. But anyways. So Jay attacks Shinsuke, Roman attacks Shinsuke. Shinsuke is just knocked into pieces. Adam Pearce has come along for the ride on this one, just looking scared and like he stole some extra workout merch that they had lying around in the back office. I don't remember what happens. I don't remember how... I know that basically Adam Pearce is more or less just dragged on top of Shinsuke for the pin.
So, yeah, Jay beats the shit out of Shinsuke, gets him knocked down on the ground. Roman throws Adam Pearce in, and he kind of refuses to pin Shinsuke, but then they beat the shit out of him. Jay just knocks him out in like one hit and then drags him onto Shinsuke to get the pin after the ref kind of refused to give it, and Roman was like, you better fucking count right now or I swear.
He's like, you'll be next to challenge me.
And that's really it. The pin happened, and
yeah.
Dude,
I'm hoping that the Royal Rumble match is like a match.
I don't think it'll be Adam Pearce.
You know?
I think something's gonna happen to where it's Seth. I'm just really hopeful for that Roman-Seth match.
I'm just hopeful that Seth comes back.
At some point.
You know, I miss him.
At some point.
Like, the snow in Iowa couldn't be that bad, buddy. But also, to be fair, I guess maybe it is a little difficult considering everything that happened in the last week or two, plus the fact that he has a brand new child.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think anything that happened in the past week would affect his flight.
Well, no, people were just saying that that's what affected him returning. He was supposed to. Which, you know, there's fine.
Alright, so bests of the night. It's that time of night. Alright, so promo of the night. God, what did we even have? So, promo of the night, we started with the 20-minute long promo of Roman getting mad at Adam Pearce. Then we had the Sonya promo with Adam Pearce, where she's taking up responsibilities of some kind of GM. Then we had the interview with Bianca. We had the promo with Carmella. We had the promo with Pearce and Paul. And we had the Riot Squad promo. God, all of these sucked. Screw it. I'll just give it to Roman and Pearce. Because what else was there?
I mean, we could give it to Sonya, but...
That's just giving it to Sonya because she's a pretty woman.
Okay. Fair. But also, now let's just give it to Roman. Mostly because I like proving that Geminis can talk out of their ass no matter who it is.
Alright, so now wrestler of the night. God. Actually, I think I know who I'm going to pick for this. So we started with Biggie.
I know who I'm going to pick for this too.
Okay. We started with Biggie versus Apollo Cruz. And I think Apollo looked a lot better than he had been since we last saw him. And I mean, we haven't seen Apollo in a long time, so it's... Last time we saw him was probably like September, August, sometime around there. But
well, the last time we saw him, he was basically just an enhancement talent.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. I do remember. But But he still looked great today. And I mean, his attitude and his delivery in kind of in between matches was great. The slap was solid. Then we had Street Profits versus Dirty Dogs. And I'll give it to Tez. Tez wrestled great while also appearing as if his leg was all messed up. Which it's kind of hard to pull off a good performance while like balancing pulling your moves off well and showing you have an injured body part. But Tez did it well. And then we had the Gauntlet Match with Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn, King Corbin, Adam Pearce, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Daniel Bryan. And who else am I going to pick besides Shinsuke? The man wrestled everyone. He wrestled the whole world today. Looked great doing it. Tried to deal with the botches as best he could. He didn't botch. Everyone else did. But, yeah. He looked great. He looks fantastic. I hope this leads to like kind of a feud with Roman or Jay where he's like, I was gonna win that gauntlet match and then you guys screwed me over, so I want that challenge. So my pick for Wrestler of the Night tonight is Shinsuke Nakamura.
I was gonna say that too. I'm really happy that he got to look so good. And I kind of assumed that Adam Pearce was supposed to win because... Yeah. Why else would he be entered into the match? Mm-hmm. But Shinsuke had to deal with, like, 3 or 4 botches that were not of his own fault in any way. Mm-hmm. And he sold them as best as he could. And I really liked that for him. Mm-hmm. I really like that he got to look amazing against a litany of different wrestlers of different styles.
Yeah, and I mean, normally, I'll talk about this more when we get into the match of the night, but normally a gauntlet match, you know, a lot of the fights are like rushed through or not really cared about because, you know, it's a gauntlet match. We're waiting on like the final 2, so we just speed through the rest, but every matchup in this gauntlet match was very prolonged and felt like a real match. I mean, aside from Sami Zayn. But yeah, they all felt very real, and Shinsuke had to fight every single opponent, you know?
And on top of that, it's like, you know, this was a complaint that a lot of people had, last year, which is Shinsuke is an amazing wrestler. I mean, he has the nickname like fucking King of Strong Style, and every time we were seeing him, especially early last year, he looked like absolute garbage. And maybe it was the booking, maybe it was just the weirdness of COVID that's affected a lot of people in different sports because of like having people around sometimes improves your performance. But he has really improved, and I'm really happy to see him. And like now it's not like, oh, Shinsuke's coming out, like wah. Like, oh, Shinsuke's coming out. We're gonna have a fun night. So I'm hoping that this leads to more Shinsuke matches that are good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And now, match of the night. Not much to work with again. We had 2 Biggie versus Apollo matches. The first one, you can barely even count it. Second one was pretty decent, pretty good. I mean, didn't really feel like a title match. Especially coming out of the first one. But yeah, it was decent. And then we had the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match between Street Profits and Dirty Dogs. I thought this was a great match. It was hard to really pinpoint anything bad about this. Besides the fact that we'll probably have 50 rematches in the future. Just because at this one, the Street Profits will probably get mad. Say, oh, Tez was going through an injury, so you gotta fight us again. you know?
Yeah.
And then we had the Gauntlet match, which was a fantastic match. Probably one of the better gauntlets we've seen recently. Just, again, every matchup felt like a real match. It felt prolonged. It felt well paced. And even the beat with Shinsuke and Daniel Bryan was really well done. Everything about this match was well done. Sami having his moment, that was great. Roman and Jay coming in was great. And then Adam Pearce. Yeah, I loved everything about this. So that's my pick for match of the night.
It feels weird to pick the whole gauntlet versus one of the matches, but I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Although there was room to say that the Biggie Apollo match may have deserved that more, but I mean, they were pretty decent matches for the 3 that we got, but it's also 3 matches that we're comparing everything against tonight, so
Yeah.
I think the one thing that really stood out was the gauntlet.
Right. Give me 1 second. I'm just typing out every name that was there.
Brand.
Okay. So to run it back, our promo of the night, Roman challenges Adam Pearce. Wrestler of the night, Shinsuke Nakamura. Match of the night, the Gauntlet match between Sami Zayn, Rey Mysterio, Shinsuke Nakamura, King Corbin, Daniel Bryan, and Adam Pearce. And yeah, Mike, Adam Pearce won. Thanks, Mike. Glad you could make it.
First time.
Adam Pearce won more than Biggie.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So sad, honestly.
It's very sad. And that's undisputed.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Shall we?
Michelle?
Thank you for joining us tonight. Mike, Mark's father. Thank you. Please join us. Oh, and if you watched in the future, thanks. Hope things are better.
You say that every podcast.
It's just a wishful prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we'll be back Monday. I will be here. Mark will be here. Kat might be here, depending on how she behaves.
I can almost guarantee she'll be here.
Kat will definitely be here. I'm like coming down with a head cold, so I really have nothing going on up there. But yeah, we'll be back Monday. It'll be fun. We'll find out what the hell is going to happen with Goldberg and Drew. Almost said Roman Reigns. I'm still stuck. Still stuck in Pirate WrestleMania. We are also... We are now, as of last Wednesday, 2 or 3 weeks away from... Okay. 2 or 3 weeks away from our... What the heck is going on?
What are you doing?
My calendar shot me all the way to 2020.
Nice, nice. Very fun.
Okay, so we are currently, as of last Wednesday, 3 weeks away from our 100th episode. We are also, as of this coming Sunday, 3 weeks away from Royal Rumble. So get excited.
Or don't.
Or don't.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, cheers, brother. Do what you want.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully
what you want is to watch us. After this glowing review, maybe not, but
So thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed it, hit the follow button, hit that subscribe button on YouTube or on Twitch. We have both. Follow us on Twitch at Pinfall Podcast. Follow our personal Twitches at the Mark Cameron, at Eliza Elaine23, YouTube Pinfall Podcast, twitch.tv/Mark Cameron, Universal Pokemon Federation on YouTube. Record time.
I have taken 4 naps today. Taken 4 naps.
And that's undisputed.
Yeah? Yeah.
Adam Cole, baby.
Love that they say that no matter who's coming out with Adam Cole. It's always just Adam Cole, baby.
Kyle O'Reilly by himself.
Adam
Cole, baby.
Mark finally showed me where they say "What up" in the theme song, so I'm really excited to finally get to see them.
I don't know how
this coming Wednesday.
I don't know how you haven't heard it before.
Maybe my brain was just glossing over it for the sake of my own sanity.
Probably.
But it really just makes me like it more.
Yeah. All right, thanks for watching. Everybody, we'll see you on Monday, I guess, for a 3-hour show.
Monday. We have to watch Raw, so please watch us.
Good night.